Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Taylor should have known that Commodity would be in Italy with Brooke and Ridge. Still, she's authentically not a smart person if she didn't. Brooke was itching for this chance to get Ridge out and down from Taylor. Taylor has to face the fact that Ridge and Brooke participated a veritably close moment that could change everything. She might indeed want to take that ring off her cutlet. When Taylor questions Ridge about that moment, he's not relatively sure what to say. Kay has a lot to say. She stops by the Forrester manse to tease Taylor in her usual unresistant aggressive way. It's mean girl time, but will Taylor just protest her out because she has had enough? Katie loves to stick her nose where it doesn't belong, but perhaps Taylor is ready for this to end. Brooke will have to go to the sanitarium to get checked out after falling into the water. Ridge knew when he saw her on the reverse of the boat that it was a dangerous situation. Ridge ran toward her, calling her name, trying to get her attention. But she couldn't hear him. That's about the time Nick turns sprucely, causing Brooke to go overboard. Ridge jumps into the water to save Brooke. He pulls her to safety, noticing she didn't respond to him. He does CPR on her and brings her reverse to life. After the fire, Ridge is happy she comes to and they partake a passionate kiss. Ridge insists that Brooke go to the sanitarium to get checked out. Brooke doesn't suppose that's necessary, but agrees after Ridge pushes. When in the sanitarium, Ridge begins to suppose about all their good times. He nearly lost her in the water, and he isn't ready to shut the door on his love with his favorite Logan. Ridge knows that being with Brooke is messy. He's engaged to Taylor, and they've enough good life together. But he's in love with Brooke, so he may decide to tell Taylor that he needs to be with his fortune. Taylor will probably come unglued. He promised he wouldn't break her heart. But then they are, just a many months latterly, and he's formally going back to Brooke. Taylor will have to move out of Eric's house and pick up the pieces after another bifurcation with Ridge. After Brooke gets checked by Croakers, she calls Hope. Brooke tells Hope about her accident and how Ridge saved her life. Hope feels unsettled by her mama's story, but she's thankful Ridge was there to save her life. Hope retells the story to Liam, who speculates that Brooke and Ridge might have a shot at a reunion after this life-hanging accident. Liam begins to wonder if he could have the same luck with Hope. Maybe, if the timing is right, perhaps they could work effects out and come a family again. After all this time, Elektra eventually decides that she's ready to take effects to the coming position with Will. She had been staying for the right man and now she has eventually set up him. They've survived Luna, and now they're free to be together ever. Perhaps. In another part of city, Lee and Sheila carouse in the fact that Luna is awake. Her two grandmothers are ready to take care of her and nurse her back to health. But has Luna really changed for the better after her encounter with death, or is she still as crazy as ever and is ready to go after Will? Elektra and Will might not want to rest easy so presto, as there's always trouble lurking around the corner. But at least they will be near than ever soon. Is Elektra really ready for this, or is she just trying to please Will? Brooke and her reunion with Ridge. Seeing how both of them were planning to visit Italy together, we saw this coming from afar down. And while Brooke might feel like she's on Pall 9 now that she's back in Ridge's arms again, reality is going to hit sooner rather than laterally. That's because it's only going to be a matter of time before Ridge does what he's done so numerous times in the history, and that's unceremoniously jilting her. You'd suppose that Brooke would learn from her once miscalculations, but that doesn't feel to be the case at all. Bill to strengthen his bond with Liam. There should be an update on what's passing with Grace after Finhan delivered her to the police. Bill just had a converse with Katie. The primogenitor was gushing about Grace being an idol and he didn't watch that it bring $1 million to save Liam. Katie was suspicious, but the converse came to an end when Liam called his father, asking him to come home. Bill set about that Grace is an idol, but just another conning Buckingham. Bill has promised to make sure that Grace pays for what she's done. While she's in police guardianship right now, that doesn't mean she'll stay there. When Bill wants someone to suffer, he has ways of making that be. It seems that Liam's rage is relatively explosive. I wonder if he could take matters into his own hands if Grace doesn't get captivity time. We might learn everything that happened at the police station. Finn did textbook Liam and let him know that Grace just turned herself in. That was the last thing we heard. Will she get arrested or figure a way out of her situation? Will Finn call Steffi to tell her what Grace did to Liam? Will that affect Thomas' marriage to Paris? Hope continued to reconnect with Liam. They're both furious with Grace, however, it would be easy to see Lope coming together to make sure Grace suffers, if she doesn't get captivity time. There's also the situation between Sheila and Lee with Luna waking up from her coma. Is recuperation possible? Indeed so. How will that affect Luna's future? Taylor asked Nick to keep an eye on Ridge and Brooke in Italy. He willingly went to the romantic country and in trouble to sweep Brooke off her bases. His romantic plans came crashing down. Literally. Taylor wouldn't be happy to find out what happened in Italy. She could condemn Nick for Ridge taking back Brooke. Nick had big plans to invite Brooke. He planned a romantic boat lift, which wound up being the exact contrary of romantic. Rather of sitting together, Brooke lay down on the reverse of the boat. The boat ended up crashing into another boat, transferring her overboard. However, how can he steer his own love life? If Nick can't steer a boat. Ridge saved Brooke when he dove into the waters and averted her from going beneath. In that moment, Ridge realized that Brooke was his fortune. He kissed her and said that he'd make everything right. But there's just one problem. He's engaged to Taylor. Taylor could still be in denial, indeed after the gang comes home from Italy. She'll ignore the red flags, including the sparks brewing between Brooke and Ridge. Rather, she'll condemn Nick for Ridge getting back together. He'd one job, and he failed at it. He couldn't keep Ridge down from Brooke. Ridge was too busy chasing Brooke around Italy. He was hopeless to find out after he realized that he'd made a mistake. Seeing her drown changed everything. Ridge realized that he didn't want to lose her. Taylor and Nick are going to lose in the end, but that wouldn't stop them from giving up. They're still going to keep trying because they're more into the idea of winning someone rather than simply loving them. Sheila chancing out Lee's secret. Luna is alive and breathing, after all. Like us, Sheila wanted to know why Lee saved her bastard's life, especially since she went after her son's family. Lee admitted that she had a change of heart after operating on her. She didn't want Luna to go out like this. Lee still sees Luna as a little girl with so important pledge. But the problem is, Luna isn't a little girl presently. She's a 20-time-old woman who should be held responsible for her crimes. Lee thinks she set up a clever way to keep Luna out of captivity. But how long will this secret last? Once people find out, they're going to want justice. Sheila and Lee's happy little reunion won't last ever. They're surely going to butt heads, especially when it comes to Luna's future. In a shocking twist, Luna's eyes fluttered open. Both Sheila and Lee were beside themselves. They were happy to see her alive. But how is she going to act once she walks and talks? Will she act like someone who deserves an alternate chance at life, both literally and figuratively? Liam aloud. He was given a new parcel on life. But that was all a taradiddle. Grace ran a million-bone scheme so she could pay off her ex-husband's gambling debts. She faked Liam's MRI reviews to make him suppose he'd brain cancer. Now that the verity was out, Liam had to tell someone veritably important, his father, Bill. Bill was angry. Big time. He pledged that Grace would pay for her crimes. What does Bill plan to do coming? We're interested to see how he could take down the Buckinghams. Grace is joining her partner in captivity, while Luna escaped captivity time. Talk about an intriguing turn of events.